What's happening? Thanks for joining us again. I'm Chris.
I'm Tom Hanks.
Sure, why not? And this is, tell us about it.
Flight of the Pimp. Clown Shoes makes a couple incredible Imperial Stouts. Blackhorn Unidragon and Vampire Slayer. This is a brown ale that Clown Shoes did with Brash Brewing. They took two Knob Creek bourbon barrels, put aged Blackhorn Unidragon in them, and then mixed 1 part of barrel-aged Blackhorn Unidragon with there'll be a test on this, 2 parts brown ale that I don't know too much about, and made this kind of limited run. There are 1,800 bottles of this Flight of the Pimp, which is just an epically great name. And it has, well, he's not a pimp. It looks like a police officer riding on a dragon.
I think he's hanging off a fishing pole, though.
Is he?
Maybe.
Yeah, well, anyways.
Either way, I don't see how we're
Pimp.
gonna... It's got an awesome name and awesome stuff inside the bottle, so it's
Absolutely.
hard to see how we're gonna fail here.
Yeah.
And what's this coming with the... What's the percentage we're coming in at here?
10.2 or...
They list it?
I thought I read somewhere that it was like 10 points.
Bottled in May of 2012, and yep, 10% alcohol by volume. I like all the things that they've put on there. They got the dating clearly on there, which is a win in my book, because so many times people like date the neck and you can't really see it, or it's like the bottom, you gotta look through it or try to figure out the coding. No, that tells you May of this year.
Yep.
Solid. Percentages on there, great. Let's drink it.
Absolutely. I mean, this is fresh, fresh, fresh. I got it the day that it showed up in the store. We just happened to be at Boston at the Craft Beer Fest. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with a little age on this too. And it might be crap, so...
Well, it sounds like it's got all the right components, like 10%.
Bourbon, barrel-aged,
Win.
brown ale, Pimp.
It's... You know, I think Charlie Sheen would really appreciate this beer.
Absolutely.
But from what I can tell, because the lighting we're actually using, like, this is like some bromantic, like, let's hold hands and drink beer, but when you watch it on the video, it's actually pretty bright, so it's kind of weird, but it's hard to tell the color, but from what I'm able to come out at, it's a really dark, like, chestnut brown.
Yeah, it definitely has some brown hue to it. Great. I mean, you can see some alcohol legs on it too. I mean, it's leaving a lot on the glass. Not much carbonation, but you wouldn't expect too much from a big heavy beer like this.
I can't even begin to look at carbonation in this thing. It doesn't have much in the way of the head. The head's definitely dissipated to like just a very thin mocha colored sort of film on the top. But yeah, for what a double brown Imperial Stout bourbon beer. Hell yeah, let's smell it.
Yep. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what a brown ale should smell like. It's definitely got a lot of stouty, chocolatey...
Yep. Yeah, it's got a lot more of like those kind of sharp, roasted malt characteristics in there. I'm not getting a hint of bourbon barrel, even though I know it's 1/3 of the bill there, but
maybe a slight essence of
yeah, it's all malt,
oaky, but
kind of sweet.
Yeah, it almost has kind of a milk stouty kind of sweetness.
Yeah.
It smells epically good though.
Yeah, like it's some of like that roasted kind of stout characteristic in there too. Other than that, that's really all I'm pulling out of it.
Yeah.
So we should probably just see what we taste in it.
Yep.
Cool. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's nice. You're definitely pulling out a little, like, a little bit more than a lot more than you're getting in the nose.
Yeah.
The nose seemed rather limited for the flavors you're pulling out here. There's definitely a right now I'm noticing like a big chocolate component.
Yep.
A nuttiness from the double brown. A kind of smoky layer on there.
Not really getting much on the bourbon.
Yeah, you can tell it's there. There's a slight bit of that barrel characteristic. There's a slight bit of that bourbon hint in there, but it's really kind of a secondary player in this overall. It's got plenty of carbonation. It's like a medium weight on the tongue. It's not, oily or, viscous in any of the ways you would think of like a barrel-aged stout or something like that.
But at the same time, it's not thin either. I mean, it's got some solid mouthfeel to it. I don't know if you guys have had Clown Shoes before, but it's a mass brewer, and they have yet to put out anything that I've tried that hasn't been incredibly good. I mean, I think they're one of the best kind of New England East Coast brewers. I mean, Smutty Nose and these guys. I mean, put the Vermont boutique
aside,
brewers aside. I mean, for more of a mass-produced, easier to get.
Something I can go to the supermarket, maybe, or like local store and pull off.
In Massachusetts, certainly you can get this. It's pretty easily attainable. They really are doing a great job.
Yeah. So maybe we'll just let this sit here warm up for a little while and come back at it and see if anything's changed.
Yep.
All right. So we've let this sit for, I don't know,
20, 25 minutes.
Okay.
Minutes.
Yeah. Hung out for a bit and it's warmed up some, so we're going to come back at it, just see if the flavors changed up any noticeable amount since it's warmed up to getting closer towards room temperature. The nose is definitely still the same. I'm getting more of sort of that alcohol taste, but it's like the alcohol from the whiskey. It's that kind of an alcohol taste, like it was aged in the Knob Creek barrels, but it's like the heat you get, that alcohol sort of note from whiskey.
I'm not getting any of the oak barrel at all.
No, just a slight bit of that whiskey component, but it's almost to the point where it's like we dabbed in a bit of whiskey into your beer rather than aged it in the barrels. I don't know. It's kind of different. It is still relatively fresh, so maybe this is one, you got a couple other bottles, you come back at it in a year.
Yeah.
How's it tasting? So.
Yeah.
Overall, it's a good drinkable beer. I'm not wowed by it by any means, but it's definitely not horrible. No, it's good. So.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it a huge step above just regular Blycorn Unidragon, which you can get pretty much year round. It seems like, but it's tasty.
Yeah, cool. All right, so we'll just keep drinking the rest of this. Hope you're enjoying something as well, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.